Good morning, YouTube. You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. How is everyone this morning? Good morning. Just Jess. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I'm getting a slow start here, having some coffee. Got leftover cold coffee from yesterday. Always a treat. Layla Bradley, Kristen Melinda, Michelle Owen. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me. It's been an interesting few days, let me tell you. Bailey, hello. Roberta, Jen, Aunt Neen, hello, hello. Yeah, it's going to be a good day, folks. Yesterday was better than the day before, and that day was better than Monday, and today's going to be better than yesterday. I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to be great. The gig has been all right, Kristen. It has been all right. It's definitely um, sometimes it's hard to be like a normal human, and realizing that that's the case, I think, is a big deal. And I also don't think like I'm ready to meet people, not like necessarily in a romantic sense, but like just in an everything sense. Like I don't think I'm ready to make friends. And I'll explore that thought some more, I'm sure. Right now, I don't know if I have the words for it, but it is, it's just really hard to be part of a team and like deal with my emotions, and it's just hard to be a real boy. It's hard to be a real human sometimes, but it's been all right. It's been fine. Working with some cool guys. Everyone seems real nice, and I was commended because I'm pretty awesome. But no, I the guys I was working with like my boss told my other boss how well I was doing and requested me back by name, and then the second of those two bosses told me that at the end of the day, they were like, good job. And so that was pretty good. That's always good. That'll go a long way. Go right into the clout bucket. Um, just Jess will be enjoying some instant coffee this morning. I also enjoy some instant coffee from time to time. Sometimes it's how we get down. Hopefully it's delicious. Annika, good morning. Hello, how are you? So excited about these earlier lives. I don't have to leave for 2 more hours, so yay, I'll get to be here for the whole thing. Well, heck yeah. We are working towards a full show at this time. At this today we'll probably get 20, 30 minutes out of it, but I'm still working out the kinks of getting up so early and getting ready for work and doing this. So eventually we will be doing the full hour, but today we're going to do a shorty. Speak of the devil, check this out. You're live on the lifeboat, Dax. Yeah. The Admiral has graced us with his presence. Yeah, thanks for grabbing that filter, man. Sorry about the mess in there. But yeah. Flick Fox, good morning. Hello, hello. Let me just catch up here. All right. Why don't we do a little bit of William White this morning, huh? I was just reading while I was having some coffee, and we kind of skip around a little bit. It's hard for me to mark my place on this thing. Maybe I can fix that in the future. But I was reading this part that I think we've kind of skimmed through before, but I noticed some things that I didn't notice before. We were reading, does the use of prescribed psychoactive drugs disqualify one from the status of recovery? Which I think is definitely a big issue in the community, right? We believe in harm reduction and what's the word I'm looking for? Medical assisted treatment, eh? But, a lot of the more traditional recovery models do not. Well, I should say all of the more traditional models do not. So I was reading through that section, and down here it says in the NA pamphlet, NA is Narcotics Anonymous, Times of Illness, emphasizes alternatives to medications, suggests taking medication only when it's necessary, and leaves the issue of clean time under such circumstances as something to be resolved with one's sponsor. That's like the person that shows you the way and takes you, through the steps, and that's like your really good friend. So it's more than that, but anyways, and higher power, which they mean like your God or whatever, right? So I think it's interesting because generally, the stigma is that NA and AA and those models aren't really into. They don't consider you clean if you're taking medication, right? That's the general stigma, at least from where I'm sitting. But right here, it's saying that in this 1992 Narcotics Anonymous pamphlet that they're emphasizing alternatives to medications, suggesting taking medication only when necessary, and leaving the issue of whether or not you're clean, like whether or not you can accrue days of clean time, right, up to your God or your higher power, right? Maybe we should use non-divisive language. Um, so I think that just jumped out at me. That was interesting. I think that a lot of the NA and AA model is up to interpretation, right? They have these books that were written, or pardon me, the big book, right? And they have Dr. Bob and Bill, and it's kind of an organic thing that's grown over time. And I think that sometimes groups or maybe little pockets of it get in their ways, and this was written in 1992 in a NA pamphlet. So I don't know. I wonder what the big book itself has to say, right? I'm not going to go look that up right now, but I just thought that was curious. A little juxtaposition for you. Incarnasol, Crushik, good to see you guys. Long time no see. How you doing? It's good to see you. Mocked, hello, hello. With this lighting, um, yeah, the lighting sucks in the morning, I have to say. Jen Otnine is packing up to go snow tubing and other activities for the weekend with the high school students I mentor. It's going to be so much fun. That sounds great, Jen. I'm missing the snow right now. I'm looking forward to hopefully around my birthday going getting some snowboarding in. We'll see how that goes. I will tell Tommy hi when he comes back in. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, what he's doing out there. Ma, meatloaf. Does anybody get that joke? It's Miss Kirsty. Hello. It's good to see you. Susie. Hello, hello. Roberta asks, can you have an aversion to taking meds that it becomes a detriment? I hate taking meds. I have a natural aversion to taking medication, but I think that's definitely like that's more in our head. That's more of like our experience. Maybe we have some trauma to like deal with or something like that. Um, I also totally hate taking meds, but that's not to be confused with an adverse reaction. You can have adverse reactions to any medication or substance, which is basically characterized by something that's not supposed to happen happening, right? So, for example, I took Nyquil once when I was younger, and the walls started melting, and it wasn't like I was taking too much or like I was trying to get high. It wasn't anything like that. I was just trying to feel better. I was sick and I needed to go to bed, and I was having a hard time breathing and sleeping. So I took some Nyquil, and I swear, turned the lamp on like 30 minutes later, and my walls were literally melting. And what was happening was I was having an adverse reaction. Um, I understand that dextromethorphan is a hallucinogen and is in Nyquil, but I mean, I took the prescribed amount. It was all regular, and this. I mean, I've taken Nyquil other times, and this has never happened outside of this one time. So adverse reactions can take place, but that's not what you're talking about. Crush It got a job as an intern substance abuse counselor at the Salvation Army. Dude, that's awesome! Congratulations. Way to get involved and give back, right? I find that the more time I spend immersed in what we do and thinking about this and learning about this and talking about this, um, the better I do personally, and the more change I'm able to affect in the world around me, which is wonderful. It really is. Really got to be about it, and that's exactly what you're doing. I think that's way cool, man. Yeah, that's right, Layla. It was Wedding Crashers. Maybe he'll come back with some meatloaf. Thanks, bro. I haven't had a job in 4 years, so it's tough, dude. I've been having a hard time being like a real human around other people at work myself. So I can relate, man. But I feel like it's kind of like being around people withdrawal kind of thing. Like yesterday, so like today's going to be better than yesterday. Yesterday was better than the day before. It's just it's going to take a little bit of just a little bit of practice dealing with my emotions and dealing with people and doing my job all at the same time. My teeth hurt. I'm hungry. I don't know, it was really friggin' difficult past few days, but we're doing it. Dark roast siren. Good morning. Hello, hello. Having some dark roast myself. I'm sorry to hear this, Annika. Good thing this is a part of our past, right? Sometimes crappy stuff has to happen to me for me to like learn things. And I always try to view my misfortune through the lens of gratitude, even if it's some messed up stuff. You know what I mean? Just for my own mental health. I'm glad that's behind you. Mucinex has always made me feel funny. That's not something that I ever enjoy taking. I tell you what. But so let's read some more William White, eh? The influence. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing about that section. The next section says how recovery is defined has consequences, and denying medically and socially stabilized methadone patients the status of recovery is a particularly stigmatizing consequence. So he's saying that that's pretty rough. If you're gonna how if the way you're defining recovery is gonna, people that are medically and socially stabilized on medication, denying them the status of recovery, I think is pretty wild, and he seems to agree. A growing number of professional and recovery advocacy organizations are recognizing the legitimacy and potential effectiveness of medication assisted recovery. Now, this, again, just for reference, this paper is from 2007. So they were just, I think, coming around to the idea that medically assisted treatment might be, a viable method, be a viable recovery model. And today, I wonder what William White would have to say today. I haven't been able to find any current stuff from the guy, but this is interesting. A little time capsule here. So yeah, he's saying it's ridiculous that we, deny the status of recovery to people on medications. Is what he's saying there. A growing number of we just read that a new recovery support fellowship. Blah, 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 blah. The influence of prescribed psychoactive drugs on an individual's recovery status is best evaluated not in terms of its presence, but in the terms of motivations for medication use and its effects. We talked about this yesterday. What that means is um, we should be judging people's recovery status. I mean, we shouldn't be judging other people's status regardless, right? That's called taking someone else's inventory. We don't do that. Um, but in general, I think recovery status should definitely be judged in terms of our like the root cause. That's what he's saying. Not in terms of the presence of the drugs, but in terms of the motivations for medication use and its effects. If I am sick, I'm going to take medication for it, right? That doesn't make me not sober. It doesn't make me not clean, right? It doesn't start me over. And I think also it's worth mentioning here that, on the lifeboat, we subscribe to the idea that it's your program. You get to decide how it goes. Bailey says mine was not illicit substance abuse, but prescribed for conditions. This totally changed my mental health and personality. Now, over a year, and I prefer to deal with my conditions holistically. I I love this. I 100% like if I can find a holistic way to deal with what's going on with me, I will. That's how I'll do it. Um, and often it's just more difficult to do so, right? But definitely better for us. I feel like in my opinion, a lot of medications even have a lot of negative side effects. You guys have all seen the commercials. may cause warts, instant death, like so many, like just a million side effects that are listed in the advertisements. It's very interesting. I find that holistic methods often don't have negative side effects at all. Good morning, Candy's Life. Good to see you. Morton Fissel. Good, sir. Hello, hello. Annika says, yesterday was my 7-year anniversary from the day my husband saved me from that situation. Been together ever since, so at least that darkness led me to him and our kid. It was worth it. I'm so happy to hear that. I am so happy to hear that. Shout out to your husband. He's a great man. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. William White has books too, huh? Let me amend my earlier statement and say I haven't looked for anything more current, at least not very hard. I probably need to start shutting this thing down. I know we have only been hanging out for a second, but I need to make sure all my stuff's together and I can't be late. Otherwise, they'll replace me. I would like to be doing full shows in the morning, which would mean I need to start this thing an hour or 30 minutes sooner. But we're working up to it. We're getting closer. I'm pretty proud of myself for working and doing this and doing all the other things that I'm doing. So I'm not going to beat myself up for not doing a full show, but thanks for spending the first 15 minutes of my day with me, guys. I appreciate it. Um, Shout out to the crew, the mods, anyone new. You guys are the best. I love you. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it makes a big difference. This has been the Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun. I think we're going to end up doing Calhoun's Corner on the weekend, probably Sunday, at least for this Sunday. So we'll see you then. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take it easy.